Good day, everybody, from me, Andre Viljoen, with this week's God Stories of Africa. It's just 3 days to Christmas as I record this clip, and it seems fitting to share with you a picture story I posted on our Gateway News website, reflecting some of the God stories we published in 2023. This just may be the pick of the year. What do you think? But let's dive into the year. January. Technically, this is a 2022 picture, but I used it to illustrate a January 2023 story in which Angus Buchan told us that 20 years after hosting the first Mighty Men conference on his farm and a little over a year after the COVID pandemic stopped mass gatherings, no less than 13 Mighty Men events were scheduled to take place throughout South Africa this year. February. These hopeful young people from the left, Mbeth, Willow, Sarah, Jason and Stephanie, featured in a story about a godly South African response to the infiltration of work culture in virtually every area of society. They are some of the first people to sign up for the Wilberforce Academy, which aims to equip Jesus followers to advance God's kingdom in their spheres of influence. March. In March, we published a special report about God doing a new thing among school children in East London, with teen-led revival meetings at schools and testimonies of Jesus intervening in suicide attempts and delivering children from anxiety. April. Thousands of people celebrated Good Friday at South Africa's own Let Us Worship event in Roodepoort, Johannesburg, with guest worship leader Sean Foyt, founder of the US Let Us Worship movement that sparked mass outdoor worship events across America at a time that churches there were locked down because of the pandemic. May. In May, we reported on a historic milestone in evangelism as more than 1 million decisions were made for Christ during a gospel campaign led by Christ for All Nations in Zambia. June. In a surprise move, the South African government withdrew a bill seeking to legalize prostitution. The reason given was concerns about the bill's constitutionality, but the ACDP's Steve Swart says he believes it has a lot to do with protests like the one pictured outside Parliament and other pushback from predominantly Christian groups who were bringing to light mounting evidence that prostitution is bad for women and society and only good for criminals. July. In July, we published the news that South Africa would be the first nation outside of North America to get to see the independent anti-child trafficking movie Sound of Freedom, which took Hollywood by surprise by breaking box office records. August. In August, Jesus got the longest applause in history when a church in Uganda set an official world record for continuous applause, maintaining a sound level of 80 decibels, which is about as loud as a diesel truck. The Panaroo Ministries International congregation clapped in unison for an unbroken 3 hours and 16 minutes. September. In September, we reported on an answer to millions of prayers as the Coega Dam, the largest water storage dam supplying the Nelson Mandela Bay and Coega regions, filled up after almost running dry and symbolizing more than 7 years of drought and repeated day zero scenarios in the region. October. In October, Gateway News attended and reported on a Time to Rise national gathering outside Bloemfontein, where Christians from all over South Africa responded to a call to unite for change in the country. During the weekend of intense worship, prayer, strategic input and planning, the gathering also dedicated South Africa to the Lord. November. In November, we shared an amazing story of a primary school in Gqeberha, formerly PE, which baptized 54 of its 70 grade 7 learners in the sea this year. The principal, Amanda Tsumpa, said her vision is to introduce her learners who come from disadvantaged areas to the Christian life so that they can help their peers to overcome issues that are threatening to destroy their lives. December. In December, we reported on a Standing with Israel prayer rally in Cape Town in the aftermath of the Hamas massacre of Israeli civilians on the 7th of October. After a rally in November had to be cancelled after it was disrupted by Palestine supporters, the organizers said it was important to reconvene in order to show that in Cape Town there are many, many Christians that stand with Israel. Well, thank you so much for watching God's Stories of Africa. I wish you and your loved ones a peaceful, joyful, Jesus-centered Christmas and a blessed New Year. Do have a wonderful rest if you're taking one this season. I am certainly looking forward to a 3 weeks break starting from tomorrow. God bless you abundantly until we meet again.